what is going on, and welcome back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best day ever. Before I get started, guys, if you are new here, please subscribe if you haven't already done that. We're on the road to 74,000 subscribers, and I would love you to join me on this journey. So hit subscribe right now and join the fam. And also, guys, go follow me on all my social media. Links are in the description. I have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and even Snapchat, so go follow me on all of those. As you guys know, I recently started a Facebook account, so you can have me on Facebook, and we can be Facebook friends. So go do that. Link is in the description. And finally, be sure to hit that little notification bell right next to the subscribe button. That way you get notified each time I upload a video. Thank you. Anyway, guys, once again, I am coming back at you with another video that is kind of creepy, actually. It's not your normal scary story or urban legend or creepypasta. Nothing like that. This is something that's personal to me. So, I'm going to start this story by saying, for maybe the last year and a half, 2 years, I've had my suspicions and reason to believe that this house is haunted. And yes, if you guys didn't know, I am actually in a house right now. I'm not in a studio, just in case you guys, couldn't tell, because, you don't really get to see anything besides this background. But anyway, enough of the jibber jabber. What's happened? I will tell you. There's been a lot of experiences here, and usually there's been some things that I've never figured out, but I'm not, I haven't let it go. Sometimes it still plays on my mind, and I have not let it go. Originally, I chose not to talk about it in a video because one of the things on its own doesn't seem like such a big deal, but the more and more things that have happened here that have added up has made it more and more of an interesting topic to talk about. Now, I have talked about this to my family, and some of my family also believe that this house is haunted. A lot of people actually believe that it could possibly be my grandmother, my great-grandmother. Now, she died not that long ago, actually. She died about 6 years ago, maybe 5 years ago. And the last couple of years, things really started to get pretty weird. So I'm going to be forgetting a lot of things here, but I'm going to tell you guys the ones that I remember because, like I said, one on its own is not worth making a video, but the more and more things that are happening, the more I'm finding a reason to make a video, because it just seems like if I put all of these together, it's like putting all the pieces to a puzzle together. It's just going to make an awesome video, an awesome story. And that way, if anything else does happen, I can also make other videos in the future to keep up to date with everything that's going on here. Are you guys still awake? Anyway, let's get to the interesting stuff. Enough of the jibber jabber. So, one thing I do remember, which is very vivid in my memory, and this is going back, this is probably the first thing that ever happened to me in this house that I thought was very strange. And it was shortly after my great-grandmother died, and that was, everybody in this house who's been and gone has had different experiences, but these are mine. These ones that I'm going to tell you guys, these are my experiences and ones that I've, witnessed firsthand. So the first one is, I remember we have in the living room, we have a fire. Now, I remember we just got this fire put in. It was a brand new fire. It was a whole new system. And this one night, I was sitting there, and I think I was doing homework. And I remember a smell coming out of nowhere, and it was strong. It was almost like a perfume. It was like there was something sweet but also kind of musty at the same time. It definitely by no means was an unpleasant smell. It was very, very strong, really strong. It was enough to make anybody, if anybody else had been there, it was enough to make them go, what is that smell? But it was nighttime. I was sitting there on my own, and I just so happened to think maybe it's the wood that we've been burning in the fire, the new fire. Maybe it's the type of wood. It might be I don't know, they have different types of wood. I thought maybe this wood might have a smell to it, like cherry wood, different kinds. You have all these different kinds of wood. I'm not really a wood expert, so I don't really know. But I literally was sat there. The fire wasn't even lit. It hadn't been lit the whole day. And I was sitting there with my head in the fire, trying to get the same smell, because this smell went as quick as it came. It literally came, hit me in the nose like a friggin' bowling ball to the face. It was so strong, and I could smell it, and I was looking around, and it was almost weird. It was almost like somebody sprayed perfume right in my face, and then all of a sudden it was gone. It went quicker than it came, and I couldn't find anything in the house that even resembled that smell, but it smelled like old woman's perfume. And we're thinking that could possibly have been maybe my great-grandmother, I don't know. But anyway, the second experience, I've had a bunch of experiences of the TV turning off by itself. Now, we've just got a new TV, which does have like a timer on it, so it does go off every like 3 hours and you got to put it back on. But it actually like counts down. This TV, the other TV that we used to have, that also did the same thing. It used to give you like I think it was like 60 seconds and it would count down on the screen. But there would be times where the TV would just go off, like for no explanation. It would just go off, and sometimes it would even just come back on. It's super weird, but I don't know if that was paranormal or it was just, I don't know, maybe the TV just felt like doing that, like rebooting itself every now and then. I have no idea. Okay, so the next experience, now we're getting more and more recent. This one was one that happened at just after Christmas this year, just gone. So I have in my bedroom I have like a desk, and on the desk there's a box fan, and right next to the box fan there's like, okay, so you got my fan here. Over here you got some like Malibu and 2 bottles of whiskey. One's a small bottle, one's a big bottle, and I'm not a drinker, by the way. That's why they're all still there. People buy them for me, and I don't really drink, so but they're standing there together, like all of them are together. Then this one morning I wake up, everything's perfectly fine, everything's in place, and I'm like, I have the eyes of a hawk. Like, I know if I walk in my room and something's different, I will see it, no matter what it is. You could come in my room, move the slightest thing, and I will know. I'm that good. But anyway, these bottles were all together in place. Like, they were all there. That was it. I got up, I went out, I came home 1 hour later, and I sat down in the same position of my bed that I was sitting in the morning when I looked over there in the first place at the bottles. But I noticed something strange. The largest bottle of whiskey was gone. So I was all like, whoa, what the heck's going on? Who's took my whiskey? So I get up. I'm feeling a little pissed, excuse my language. I'm thinking somebody's been here and took my whiskey. Because I do have family come in and out of the house throughout the day. There's always somebody here. So I was thinking somebody's come in and took my whiskey without even asking me. So I'm feeling a little angry right now. I'm thinking, who should I blame? Who is it likely to be? Blah, blah, blah. So I get up. I go over and I look, and the bottle of whiskey is still there. It hasn't gone, it's still there, but it's moved about 10-15 inches away from the other bottles on the desk. It's moved about 10-15 inches behind the fan. It moved behind the fan, so I couldn't see it originally from the angle I was at before. I asked everybody, I mean everybody in my family, even people who didn't even come to the house that day. I asked everyone. I was freaking out. I was like, somebody's done it. Somebody's done it. Who's screwing around with me? Because this isn't funny anymore. I'm serious. Nobody had been in that room. And I was only out for 1 hour. We still haven't figured it out. And even my family, I had them swear on lives and stuff like that it was nobody. Nobody was in the house. It was just me. And nobody had been in while I was out. So I had everybody swear that it was not them. Nobody still knows. And even my grandmother, I've been talking to her. I think at first people thought I was going crazy, but now that I've mentioned it to her, even she has been talking to me. Even my grandmother has been talking to me about, could it possibly be her? Like, why would she do this? Would she screw around with me? Would she do it as a little prank? Or would she do it to try and get attention? We just can't figure it out. Now, moving forward to last week. This is very recent. Now, I film in the attic, believe it or not. I don't know if you guys could tell. I think I've told you guys before that actually, like, this setup is in my attic. I have the whole attic is set like a studio. I have studio lights, one, like studio lights everywhere. This is a green screen background, and my tripod's right here with you guys on top. And when I'm done filming in here, like, I come up here, I come up the ladder. It's one of those pull down ones. You come up the ladder, and I sit down, I film a video, I have all my studio lights on. Now what I usually do is after I turn off the camera, I turn off the light, turn off the light, turn off the light, and then there's a extension, outlet extension over there with like 4 outlets on it. I unplug them all. I couldn't forget to unplug one because they're all next to each other, so I just don't understand. Now, I go down, and every time I go down, I always go down backwards. So like my head is the last thing to go out of the attic. And I'll be honest, ever since I seen a YouTube video of like a jump scare with, it was like a guy going up to the attic because he heard noises. And as he looks in, he sees a face just like pop up. It's freaking terrifying. Ever since I seen that, I always felt a little uncomfortable about going back, never coming in the attic, but going back down. After I filmed the video, I always feel a little weird going back down again, and like my head's the last thing. I try not to look, because it's very dark in here, it's very creepy. So I know that, like, if I left a light on, I would be like, oh, hey, my head's still in the attic. I can see there's a light on, but more importantly, I just wouldn't even forget to turn it off. There's a switch that I always do. I have a system, I have a routine, and then I unplug them all. Now, this one day, last week, I open the attic, I pull it down, and I'm like, what the heck? Why is it bright up there? So I feel a little weird, right? I'm like, somebody's up there. That was my first thought. I was like, somebody's broke into my house from the roof. I don't know why, I don't know how, but somebody's up there. I just had the feeling that someone was up there. So I eventually got up the courage to go and check it out. I pull down the ladder, I start slowly climbing up, and then, sorry, I didn't mean to scare you guys. But I climb up, I look in, I'm like this, okay, nobody, it's alright, it's perfectly fine. I get up, I go over, and this light right here, this one, is on. Like, how? How is that possible? I turn it off every time I go out. I unplug it every time I go out. There's only 3 plugs in that extension cord. That's this light, that light, that light. It wasn't even like I accidentally took a different plug out. So I have no idea what's going on. This light was on, and on this light there's 2 light bulbs. Now here's the creepy part. On these light bulbs, they have like this, I would turn you guys around, but it would like mess everything up, so I'm not going to do that. But I'm going to describe it to you guys. There's these light bulbs. There's one, then another one, and then they have like this kind of like a shell over the light bulb, kind of like a shade, I guess you could call it, but it's not really. And that's made out of metal. I don't know what type of metal. It might be aluminum, but it gets hot. If you have this light on for an hour, which I used to use these lights a lot, all the time, and now I only really use them for filming videos, but I used to have them on all the time, and they used to get red hot, so you couldn't even touch it. When I came up that day, the last time I had been in the attic since I seen this light on was 24 hours before, when I was filming yesterday's video. So nobody had been in the attic for 24 hours. Now, I would think that these light bulbs are not very good. I would think that if they were on all day and all night for 24 hours, they would probably blow, but they didn't. They were both still working. And when I come over, I don't know why, but because it's kind of stupid, but my first reaction was to touch it to see what it was. That was my like natural instinct, was to touch the red things to see how hot it was. Like, just go like this, and it was like warm, but it wasn't hot. It was almost like it had been on for, like, knowing these lights as well as I do, I think it feels like they've been on for maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes before I came into the attic. Now that idea just creeps me out, to think that I don't know what happened in here before I came up. Like, there must have been a time where this light came on, the plug, the switch, and then the lights, like just before. But I would love to have set my camera up and film it, but this is the problem. I always think this every time. I always think, I wish I had a camera rolling. But I can't do it, because sometimes you can go weeks, even months, without anything happening. Like, you don't even know where in the house it's going to happen next. That's the weird thing. So you could set up a camera in here, but it may never happen in here again. So you just don't know. And that's the frustrating part about this. But all these experiences added up. Now, one thing that happened to me today, the most recent one of all. I'm not saying this is paranormal. It could have just been me. I don't know. But I was tired this morning. This afternoon, early afternoon. I decided to take a nap. I was fine in the morning, nothing strange, and I went to take a nap. I woke up like maybe an hour later, and I wasn't even really napping. I was just kind of like resting my eyes, like I was still like alert. I wake up maybe an hour later. I snap out of it, I'm sitting around, and I feel a little strange. Like, I feel a little weird right now. I feel kind of depressed. Like, I feel depressed for no reason. It wasn't even like I had a bad dream. Nothing wrong with the weather. Like, it wasn't like super rainy or anything like that. So, I don't know. I just felt depressed, like something dark and gloomy. Then all of a sudden, I noticed my face stinging, basically. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, okay, my face is stinging a little bit. Maybe it's like a sore pimple. So I'm touching. I'm feeling right here, and I'm like, oh man, I must have a nasty pimple on its way. So maybe about 20 minutes later, the pain intensifies. It's getting worse. Like, it's stinging. It's almost like a bee sting. It was freaking hurtful. Like, I can't even describe it. But I go into the bathroom, and I'm like, I gotta see what this is. I can feel a lump So obviously something's not good. I look in the mirror and I see, like, when a cat scratches you and it comes up in like bubbles, it like bubbles up, right? You guys following me? That's what was on my face. And this, I'll show you guys in a second, because I know you guys can't really see from here. I'll do a close-up in a second. But it feels like a lump. It looked like a lump. It's a red scratch right across my eye here, and it's about an inch long. It's like a good inch long. Now, I'm not saying, I don't have anything sharp in my bed when I'm sleeping. So I was taking a nap in bed. There's nothing but a pillow, which is very soft. It's like cushiony. But it wasn't nothing sharp in my bed. It could have just been me scratching my face, even though I cut my nails yesterday, so I don't really have nails. So I don't know how it's possible. I don't know. I can't figure it out. So I'm thinking maybe it was paranormal. Now, I don't know how well you guys can see. I'm just going to move around a little bit. Hopefully you guys can get a good look at that. I'm trying to avoid that shadow of the camera, but yeah, right there, that is like a very painful scratch. It's actually gone down now, because this happened like earlier today, maybe like 4 hours ago. So yeah, it's just super weird. But that is the end of that, guys. Let me know in the comment section, if you were me and all this stuff was happening to you, would you think that you were going crazy? Or would you just think that it could just be paranormal? Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. That is question of the day. And I'm actually curious to see what you guys think, because I don't even know who else to talk to about this. I've only really talked to my family, really. So I want to see what you guys think. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this little story time, hit that like button down below. Let's see if we can go for 1 billion likes on this video. I would really appreciate that. But yeah, guys, let me know in the comment section also if you would like me to keep you guys updated on these stories, and let you know what happens in the future. And if you're not new here, if you're new here and you're not yet subscribed and you want to subscribe, go ahead and do that so you guys can stay updated too. But thank you guys so much for watching. Remember the most important thing of all, chase your dreams. I love you all. Don't let anybody bring you down. Peace out.